Okay. Blog notes for Tuesday midnight, 30th of May. What I've got set up here is the new WAZA Air controller app over here. Hopefully this is going to come on screen. Let's see if I can get this adjusted any further. Doubt it. But you're only missing the stuff across the top. Now, what's going on here is, down here I have Airsteps set up. This little L garrotage thing. As you can see, that little volume knob is working. The setup that I used for this was to turn on the WAZA and the Airsteps together and then activate the app. The app automatically is connecting into the Airstep. It doesn't any longer see the WAZA Air MIDI connection because the headset is now talking directly to this, and this is now talking directly through this bridging. And as you can see, at first it didn't quite work. What I ended up doing was moving these little knobs. When they were off, I was tabbing, it wasn't going through. It took a little while, and then just doing that, everything came up. So the way I've mapped this out is different from the layout here on screen. I've got boost, mod, FX, delay 1, a tap tempo 1, reverb, ambience, and then all of your amp settings down there. The way I've got it mapped here is first on the right, boost, you can see that going off, then mod, delay 1, FX, delay 2, which you can't see, that's not mapped here, but that's usually paired and locked into the reverb. Now, with an Airstep, you can split those two. It's decoupling, and this whole decoupling thing is super important. Go to plate, tick. That's turning off the reverb, but the delay is still on. These two I've got set up. Delay 1 tap, delay 2 tap. So I can tap that there, and I'm hearing it. You're not. Tap 1 over here. If I tap here, you can see that. That's changing. So with an Airstep and this, you have the best of both worlds. You can set up dotted 8, set up quarter 8. You can do taps and taps and taps and taps. So I'm going to take that back to around 400. Then turn on reverb. That's all decoupled. Another thing that a normal WAZA Air user would do that doesn't have Airsteps, you can turn on boost. Typically that would exclude the mod. Here you can turn it on. So compressor, both of them. Delays 2 is on. That would typically exclude FX. Boom. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delay 2, 5. Reverb, 6. Ambience. And all this you can get to from the app, but you can't normally do it. And on here I've also got EQ in the front and solo down here. So it's a very good case for still maintaining your Airsteps. And if you don't want to mess with an app at all, once you're finished with this, you can just turn all that off. This remains active and you've got everything you want right there. You can run this without the app completely. Super cool thing, super big bonus. For me, the only thing that I don't dig with these is the lack of display. That takes care of it for you. Win-win. So, beyond that, in the quest for Super MIDI controllers, I'm going to try this one next. Only 4 buttons instead of 10. There's no way that you're going to be able to do everything, but you should be able to do some stuff. And it has its own little display, which is cool. Nice colors. Works with that. Wah pedal on the side. Completely battery free. That one is going to have to come. And then beyond that, Pirate MIDI I've already done this on the Helix, that works well, but I'd be very interested to know everyone else's opinions on what you want from the physical MIDI controller side of it. This thing, brilliant. You can just sit here and dial in what you want. You can connect those to MIDI controllers. Don't know if you'd really want to or not, but super cool. So let's turn everything off. All working great. Boom. Ambience isn't, but anything here in the amp selection, I don't think that's mapped yet. You can see the mapping. Ah, look. Bass, mid, treble. That would be something to look at. And that is sending sysx, which is why it's not turning up there. Very cool stuff. FX level, you can toggle on and off with the CC. You can set these up with a MIDI CC. So if you have a really cool MIDI controller, you can do a lot with this, and that totally brings the WAZA Air into the world of normal MIDI controllers without having to rely on an Airstep. So these are cool. I dig it. And that will conclude today's vlog.